Justice has been served, and we are deeply saddened that this has happened to James. James was fortunate to have survived. However, he has been left with severe, life-changing injuries.
Now, the media would have you believe that drill music contributes to knife crime, but the stark truth is, blaming music is just justification to stop youths in underprivileged areas from getting out of poverty. Now, media outlets and authorities do not want poor people to have a voice, do not want them to influence people that look just like them, for fear that it will create more crime. Now, I say that because if music plays a role in knife crime, then we can use the same excuse for computer games like GTA, or movies like Boys in the Hood and Scarface, or even the internet, that can lead people to some pretty mad places. You can't single out a genre of music for people's poor resolve, people's poor behaviour. People are either good or bad. They dictate what they're going to do. Some people are just scumbags. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. Now, knife crime is real, and it affects families in such a surreal way. Take James Bascoe-Smith. Now, James was only 17 years old when he took his mum's bike out for a test ride in order to ensure it was safe for her to get from A to B when she was using it. Now, while riding the bike, he ventured a few metres, a few streets over, and James entered Myettesfield in Brixton, and he was ran down by a stolen Range Rover, driven by 20-year-old Leon Rashid and 18-year-old Taiquane Lewis, who are said to be members of Harlem Spartan, on February 21st, 2021. Now, after the 17-year-old was knocked down, either Leon or Taiquane produced a blade and they started to poke and jab at James in front of witnesses. He screamed out in pain and begged people to call his mum, who was only a few streets down the road. She had no idea what was going on. Now, of course, at the time, Leon and Taiquane escaped. Now, James's mum got a phone call, a FaceTime, and she was forced to witness her own flesh and blood on the ground, her son, a red spot leaking. Now, imagine that anguish for parents for a moment, having to see your kid in such a precarious position. That would break your heart. Now, sadly, the whole purpose of Leon and Taiquane riding in a stolen Range Rover was to look for members of 410, another UK drill collective. Now, of course, these two groups had issues. It was nothing to do with music, it was personal. James was collateral damage. He was not involved at all. And the worst thing is, as I said, the guy was not considered to be road life. He picked up his cousins from school, he helped him with homework, and also helped to coach gymnastics, and he went to college. And for all the good he did in the community, he was treated like a GM just because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time and for the way that he looked. Effectively, he's a black guy wearing a tracksuit, so automatically he must be up to no good, or he must be an opposition. Now, James was effectively dead for an hour after his heart stopped beating after being stabbed, but James Bascoe-Smith was a fighter. The guy is probably one of the strongest people you ever meet in your life. He spent 174 days in hospital, and though he's able to speak a little bit, he's a shell of his former self. He has suffered severe paralysis. He will never go on a lad's holiday, never experience independence, or running or walking up and down the stairs, never getting out of bed himself, and never being able to brush his teeth. His independence is gone. He requires 24-hour care and medication for the rest of his life. And the worst thing is, again, that strangers are looking after him. This was a guy that before the incident, he was active. Now, James is wheelchair bound. He hasn't got an electric wheelchair, so it means that he has to be put in a wheelchair and taken out of the wheelchair. And Leon and Taiquane did this to him for no reason, just because they were hell-bent on trying to score points. Now, Leon Rashid was jailed for life with a minimum term of 14 years, and Taiquane Lewis was jailed for life with a minimum of 13 years. While effectively, James Bascoe-Smith's life is effectively over. The life that is known is gone. He's been given a life sentence for no reason at all. Stay safe. Safe.